Over 2 decades have passed, and the chilling mystery of Jonbenet Ramsey's case still haunts America. This tale of intrigue and unresolved questions continues to captivate, drawing us back time and again. Today we delve into the intricate puzzle that is the Jonbenet Ramsey case. The morning after Christmas 1996 in Boulder, Colorado, began with a horrifying discovery. A chilling ransom note claiming to be from a small foreign faction, demanding a peculiar sum of $118,000 was found on the kitchen staircase. The 6-year-old beauty queen, Jonbenet Ramsey, was missing. Hours later, the family's worst nightmare unfolded. Jonbenet's lifeless body was found in the basement of her own home, her innocence brutally shattered. The confusion and panic that gripped the Ramsey household was palpable. Who could have done such a thing, and why? Was it a stranger, a frenzied intruder, or was it someone closer to home? The questions far outnumbered the answers. In the midst of this chaos, a complex web of clues, contradictions, and controversies began to emerge. The tranquil Boulder community was forever marked by this tragic event. The stage was set for one of the most intricate investigations in the history of American crime. As the Boulder Police Department arrived at the Ramseys' residence, the complexity of the case began to reveal itself. As the first officers stepped into the home, they were met with a scene that would baffle investigators for years to come. The initial stages of the investigation were marked by decisions that would later face intense scrutiny. The most controversial of these was the decision to allow John and Patsy Ramsey, the parents of Jonbenet, to roam freely around the crime scene. This decision, which went against standard protocol in such cases, has been heavily criticized in the years since. There was also a lack of a proper initial search. When the police arrived, their first priority should have been to secure the scene and conduct a thorough search of the premises. However, this did not occur. Instead, the police allowed the Ramseys and their friends to clean the kitchen and even pick up and move Jonbenet's body. This lack of control over the crime scene meant that potential evidence could have been contaminated or lost, making the task of solving the case even more challenging. This was not the only misstep in the early investigation, but it was one of the most significant. It set the tone for an investigation that would be marked by controversy and confusion. And then there were the inconsistencies. The ransom note, for example, was unusually long and written on paper from a notepad found in the Ramseys' home. The amount demanded was the exact same as John Ramsey's Christmas bonus that year. These details raised eyebrows and further complicated the case. As the days turned into weeks and then months, the questions piled up. Who killed Jonbenet Ramsey? Why was the crime scene mishandled? Was there a cover-up? And perhaps, most importantly, would justice ever be served? The door was open to a myriad of questions and a whirlwind of speculation. The investigation had only just begun, and already it was clear that this was no ordinary case. The mystery of Jonbenet Ramsey had taken root, and it would continue to grow, casting a long and dark shadow over the city of Boulder. From local news to national tabloids, the Jonbenet Ramsey case quickly became a media sensation. Almost overnight, the tragic story of a 6-year-old beauty queen, found lifeless in her own home, was thrust into the limelight. The media descended on the quiet community of Boulder, Colorado, turning the Ramsey family's private nightmare into public spectacle. Television stations, newspapers, and the rapidly growing internet of the mid-90s were ablaze with the story. The Ramsey family, once leading a relatively private life, found themselves under the harsh scrutiny of the public eye. Their every move was watched, every statement analyzed, every tear she'd speculated upon. The media played a significant role in shaping public opinion. A narrative was swiftly constructed around the Ramsey family, a wealthy, seemingly perfect family hiding a dark secret. This portrayal, whether fair or not, fueled the fire of suspicion and led to widespread speculation about the family's potential involvement in the crime. As the case grew in notoriety, so did the theories. Some media outlets propagated the idea of an inside job, pointing to the oddities in the ransom note and the lack of a clear break-in. Others promoted the theory of an unknown intruder, citing unidentified DNA found at the scene. These conflicting theories, often presented as fact, only served to muddy the waters of an already complex investigation. The media's role was not entirely negative. Their relentless coverage kept the case in the public consciousness, prompting tips and leads from across the nation. Yet at the same time, the media circus also cultivated a climate of misinformation and conjecture that arguably hindered the investigation. As the weeks turned into months, and the months into years, the media's fascination with the case did not wane. The death of Jonbenet Ramsey became a story that the world couldn't look away from, a mystery that captivated millions. The media frenzy added another layer of confusion to an already baffling case. As the case grew cold, theories began to circulate, each more compelling and disturbing than the last. One of the most debated theories revolves around the possibility of an intruder. Supporters of this theory argue that the unidentified boot print and the unknown DNA found at the crime scene point to an outsider. They suggest that this unknown person could have entered the Ramsey house, committed the horrifying crime and left without a trace. Yet detractors argue that the lack of forced entry and the fact that the house was alarmingly undisturbed make this theory less plausible. Then there's the family member theory, which has been the subject of countless discussions and heated debates. This theory suggests that someone within the Ramsey family, whether it was the parents or even Jonbenet's older brother Burke, could have been responsible for the crime. This theory is fueled by the peculiar behavior of the Ramsey family following the incident, the ransom note supposedly written on a notepad from within the house, and certain inconsistencies in their statements. However, the family's vehement denial and the lack of concrete evidence linking them to the crime cast a cloud of doubt over this theory. Lastly, there's the theory of an accidental death covered up by the family. Some believe that Jonbenet's death could have been an unfortunate accident, perhaps a game gone wrong or a fit of rage that ended tragically. The theory suggests that the family, in their panic and fear of scandal, might have staged the crime scene to look like a kidnapping gone wrong. Yet this theory, like the others, is riddled with unanswered questions and lacks definitive proof. The theories are as varied as they are disturbing, each one adding another layer of complexity to this already baffling case. Each theory sparks more questions than it answers, creating a web of speculation and uncertainty. Yet, despite the multitude of theories, the truth seemed to slip further and further away. The mystery of Jonbenet Ramsey continues to perplex us, and the quest for answers remains as relentless as ever. Now, over 2 decades later, the Jonbenet Ramsey case remains unsolved, a puzzling enigma that has etched itself into the very fabric of American crime history. It has been the topic of countless discussions, debates, and conjectures, yet the truth remains elusive. The enduring fascination with Jonbenet's story is evidenced by a continuous stream of documentaries, movies, books, and even podcast series that have been produced over the years, each one attempting to shed new light on the case, attempting to piece together the jigsaw puzzle that is her untimely demise. They've dissected every piece of evidence, every statement, every theory, yet the mystery remains, as deep and as dark as ever. The lack of a definitive answer has only fueled the public's interest. It has become a part of our collective consciousness, a chilling ghost story that refuses to fade into oblivion. Theories abound, each more intriguing than the last. Was it an intruder? Or was it someone within the Ramsey household? Did the police bungle the investigation, or was there a cover-up? The questions are endless, and the answers are few. Despite the passage of time, the interest in Jonbenet's case has never waned. It has in fact intensified. New generations of true crime enthusiasts have discovered her story, drawn in by its unsettling combination of innocence lost and mystery unsolved. Each year, as the anniversary of her death approaches, the media spotlight returns to the Ramsey household, the speculation begins anew, and the quest for the truth continues. Today, we've journeyed through the chilling narrative of the Jonbenet Ramsey case. We've revisited that dreadful December morning when her lifeless body was discovered, and the subsequent investigation that left more questions than answers. We've seen how the media circus amplified the case, turning it into a worldwide spectacle, and explored the myriad of theories that emerged, some plausible, others wildly speculative. Yet despite the passage of time and the relentless pursuit of justice, the enigma of Jonbenet Ramsey endures. The truth remains elusive, the case unsolved, and the memory of a 6-year-old beauty queen remains forever etched in our collective consciousness. In the realm of true crime, few cases have held the world's attention as steadfastly and as hauntingly as that of Jonbenet Ramsey.